This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WLCX Daily News Roundup for the Eagle 1490 AM in La Crosse.
For AM 1490 WLCX, I'm Jimmy Kuska. Officials in Madison are releasing new details about the school shooting there on Monday. With more, here's Civic Media's Savannah Tomei-Olson.
The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office released the names of the two people shot and killed at Abundant Life Christian School. They are 14-year-old Ruby Vergara and 42-year-old Erin Michelle West. The report says they died of, quote, homicidal firearm-related trauma, end quote. Ruby's family chose to publicly post her obituary. They wrote that she was a big reader and played keyboard in the family band and loved to sing. She has a brother and had a special bond with her pets, cat Ginger and dog Coco. Meanwhile, West was a long-term substitute teacher at Abundant Life Christian School and also has kids who go there. And more new information, 2 people shot are still in the hospital fighting for their lives. We've learned the other 4 who are expected to recover are now home. Meanwhile, a California judge has ordered a man who was allegedly talking to the shooter and planning an attack of his own to surrender his weapons. Court documents show the FBI served a 20-year-old man in Carlsbad, California with a gun violence restraining order. According to the documents, the man was texting with the shooter and told her he would arm himself with guns and explosives to target a government building. Now, this gun violence restraining order is a civil issue, not a criminal one. We often call these red flag laws. They allow law enforcement to temporarily seize the weapons of someone who's been deemed a threat to themselves or to others. California has red flag laws. Wisconsin does not. And here at home, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes says the shooter had 2 handguns, but only used one of them. He says federal authorities are tracing both firearms. For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei-Olson.
Winter weather has arrived to western Wisconsin, and the Wisconsin DOT has a tool to help you get to where you're going. With more, here's Civic Media meteorologist Brittany Merlot.
It's Wisconsin's 511 mobile app showing current conditions on roads across the state. You'll see categories ranging from normal to partially covered and completely covered. Drivers can now access live streaming video through hundreds of traffic cameras across the state to view the road conditions yourself, spanning more than 14,000 miles of roadway. And as always, take your time and drive safe.
The National Weather Service in La Crosse has placed most of the area under a winter weather advisory or winter storm warning. Snowfall totals expected to be 3 to 6 inches across the Coulee region. If you're still looking for a gift idea, how about the gift of being able to explore Wisconsin? Here's Travel Wisconsin's Logan Rogie.
One great idea is purchasing a state park admission sticker for those outdoor lovers in your life. You're going to provide them with 12 months of access to all the state parks and state forests. And next year actually marks the 125th anniversary of the state park system too. So visitors, they can expect a wide array of events at all the state parks that are celebrating this important milestone, really making that vehicle admission sticker an even greater gift.
You can buy a state park admission sticker at the Wisconsin DNR website. Officials say the outbreak of bird flu in Wisconsin in multiple counties is not related to the poultry giveaway held earlier this year, as farms in Trempealeau County and other areas dealt with the closure of a poultry producer in Minnesota. With more, here's Civic Media's Melissa Kay.
State veterinarian Dr. Darlene Kunkel said the chicken giveaway isn't related to the virus outbreaks in Barron or Kenosha County.
We don't see any connection there. That was an incident that happened a couple of months ago. Avian influenza is a very quickly moving disease in poultry. So these birds, these latest 2 cases, probably got exposed very shortly prior to exhibiting clinical signs within hours or days.
It's possible that one person has contracted H5N1 after contact with the infected flock in Barron County. DHS is monitoring farm workers and says it's safe to eat poultry products that have been fully cooked.
In October, farmers were forced to give away tens of thousands of chickens. If you're looking for something unique to give, how about the history of Wisconsin. Here's Travel Wisconsin's Logan Rogie.
Maybe there's someone you know who really loves history. A great option for them is an annual membership to the Wisconsin Historical Society. History buffs will get free access to 12 historic sites and museums that are spread throughout the state, in addition to other benefits. They provide an option on their website to directly gift a membership.
You can buy an annual subscription on the Wisconsin Historical Society website. You can take Civic Media with you anywhere you go with the free Civic Media app. Download it now at civicmedia.us/app. From the Civic Media Newsroom in Western Wisconsin, I'm Jimmy Kuska for AM 1490 WLCX and lacrosseeagle.com.
The Pack is back in Green Bay. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. After an extra day off, the Packers are back at work, getting ready to host the Saints on Monday Night Football. Linebacker Quay Walker expected to be out a while with an ankle injury. Rookie linebacker Edgerrin Cooper named NFC Defensive Player of the Week after his performance Sunday night in Seattle. Matt LaFleur.
You know, he's a really talented guy. He did a great job, and I mean, on that screen play where they hit Jackson Smith-Jigba out the backfield, that was just an elite play by somebody that has elite athleticism.
NBA, the Bucks in Cleveland tomorrow night against the Cavaliers. College basketball, Marquette with a win in their first Big East game of the season, beating Butler 80-70. Marquette now 10-2, ranked 9th in the nation. Head coach Shaka Smart.
You know, somebody told me after the game, they said, well, we'll take that one. They've obviously never played or coached. Like, this no Big East game is like, we'll take it. We have a level of gratitude that we were able to do what it took to win. You know, Butler's a dangerous team that's had some good wins on this season. Obviously beat us last year here. And I thought the way our guys handled adversity was way better this time around, and that's what allowed us to win.
That's Marquette Shaka Smart. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Week 51 at the domestic box office has some great films opening this weekend, and a little something for everyone. Starting off with movies you can take your kids to, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 hits theaters featuring the voices of Jim Carrey and Keanu Reeves. The third installment of the franchise is pulling an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the film is rated PG. The new Lion King film Mufasa also opens a wide release and is also rated PG. It is pulling a barely fresh rating of 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Fire Inside tells the story of a Flint, Michigan native and the first woman to win a gold medal at the Olympics in boxing. The film is crushing on Rotten Tomatoes with a 94% favorable rating from critics. If you're in the mood for creepy, check out Nosferatu, which is reviewing incredibly well and hits theaters on December 25th. The other big flick that hits theaters on Christmas Day includes A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothée Chalamet. Let's go to the movies. Variety reports that the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has announced the shortlist for the Oscars in 10 categories. Emilia Perez led the way with 6 nominations, and Wicked came in second with 4. Voting to determine the actual nominations will take place January 8th, with nominations being announced January 17th. The 97th Oscars ceremony will air March 2nd of this coming year. Superscribe Taylor Sheridan has received criticism for his role of Travis on Yellowstone. The show's creator has come under fire on social media, with fans saying that they thought it was lame that he wrote himself onto the show and made Bella Hadid his girlfriend, calling it totally unnecessary. Just for the record, folks, Taylor Sheridan has written himself onto other shows as well, including Lioness and 1883. Maybe he's just created so many shows he's running out of actors. Fans of Peaky Blinders who are anxiously awaiting the feature film will be happy to know that principal photography is done. The film is called The Immortal Man, and Cillian Murphy is back in the lead role as Tommy Shelby. Peaky Blinders is the story of post-World War I gangsters in Birmingham. The show ran for 6 seasons between 2013 and 2022 on the BBC and Netflix. Fans of the 28 Days franchise will be happy to know that 28 Days Later will finally be available to stream. The film has been curiously absent from streaming platforms, which is not good for people who want to catch up before the release of 28 Years Later. The second installment, 28 Weeks Later, is available to stream, but Danny Boyle's first film of the franchise has been offline since early 2024 after being purchased by Sony. The film is now available to stream as of December 18th. 28 Years Later is set to hit theaters in June of 2025. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Snow will continue today with another 3 to 5 inches by the time it winds down tonight. It's going to be windy, too, with some blowing snow through today and much of tonight. 29 the high will drop to 19 tonight tomorrow, getting better with sunshine at a high of 26. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Right now, it's 22.
That's your WLCX Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lacrosseeagle.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.